And we're back, and I forgot to press start. Hi, guys. There's we're going. We have Gary, Chase, and myself for the shows that made us. I tried to work on a different intro, but I suck at video editing. How are you guys doing today?
It's fine, man. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay.
I'm doing simply wonderful. Thank you for asking.
Oh, Sven is live and going good. We have Terry in the chat, Andrew46102, Ironcaster, hello, and of course, Zach7. It's going to be the shows that made us, an hour-long episode, keeping it short, keeping it sweet, and a little bit cringe. So we can start the first one. You guys have watched Sweet Tooth, right?
Yeah, I watched the first episode.
Well, you, Gary?
Yes,
What'd you think of it?
I watched the entire season.
Me too. I should figure that out. I did.
I liked it a lot. There are parts of it I really love. There's huge logic issues with it, but once I got past those, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I don't know what I'll probably get asked later about the logic issues, but yeah, I watched the first episode after Explorer kept telling me I should give it a shot, say it's great, and I finally did. And yeah, I couldn't stop, except if I had to do something. It was great. I loved the character interaction and everything. What about you, Jace? Since you watched at least the first episode.
First view, I fell asleep and I thought it was boring first time, and then I went back to rewatch it, and no, I liked the interaction. I like the actors and the passion in them. And I really like the main character, the kid. He's cute. It's interesting. It's an interesting concept.
Oh, it is. It most definitely is. I had actually a lot of fun with it, and I think the people that got to hire for it were literally fantastic.
Yeah, and the logical issues, I don't know anything about that yet because I've only seen one episode.
But yeah, let's get into it. For those in the chat,
Once you get into it,
go ahead, Gary. Gary, did I kill Gary?
No, go ahead. I go ahead.
No, it was you. You're saying once you get into it.
Yeah, once you get into the show, I think there's a delay. So we're talking over each other. I'm not on the best connection. I'm on my mobile phone, so that's probably what's causing it. But no, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't even remember what the logic issue because I was sitting down talking to Deanna about it, my wife, and she's like, "Yeah, what is with that?" I went, "I don't know. It's really weird, but I can't think of it right now. It has to do with the ongoing plot that there's a huge thing that they're ignoring, and I can't remember what the hell it is offhand."
Okay, well, actually, yeah, well, there probably isn't. I probably even remember it if you actually hear about it. But like, for those who haven't watched the show, it's pretty much dealing with it's called the Crumble. Supposedly there was a virus released. Also, at the same time, there was mutations with newborn children, and they were becoming half human, half animal. And they were eventually made to be blamed as the cause of the virus because the virus was killing, almost all of humanity at this point, and pretty much the earth was recovering, and eventually the old ways of man were called the last man or the last men. And pretty much they hunted down hybrids, tried to get rid of them. They would mark territories if they found them hiding, and it just turns into a crazy thing.
Yeah.
And our main protagonist, which you can see on the screenshot right here, is pretty much Sweet Tooth. That is his name, and he's pretty much deer and human male at the same time.
Oh,
go ahead.
Yeah, they call him Gus.
I just remembered what part of the issue is that with diseases like this, 1% of the population will always be immune. That's just a simple fact of nature. And then on top of that, you'll have people who get it that recover. So you would end up with close to about 5 to 10% of the population surviving. And they start bringing up a new wave, but the odds of a new wave happening is ridiculously low because the population is so small now. that you pretty much eradicate the virus by the people dying from it. What you see in that show is actually what would happen if there was a real pandemic. That people would be dead in the fucking streets. That's what happens in a real pandemic. It's not something we've got a pandemic, and then you look around and well, I don't see that in the streets. Well, then that's not a real pandemic. So people misuse constantly. People with political interests misuse words in science, and they do that even in this show. And it's kind of funny. I mean, they show that scene where two guys are fighting towards the end of the show. I think it was like 7th episode. There are two guys
I'm getting a lot of spoilers now.
Suits fighting over the virus, and I just thought that was. Yeah.
And
I'm not telling you anything.
The whole vape scene.
But yeah, the vape scene. That scene just fucking cracked me up because that was a direct correlation to what we've gone through. But the fact is, in this show, there's a real pandemic. People are fucking really dying, and in large numbers. And in reality, 1% of the population is always immune. That's a scientific fact. And close to 5 to 10% of the population will survive.
Yeah,
always survive. So human life ending thing just doesn't exist. But what I found irritating is the fact that there were clearly geneticists still alive, and if you have geneticists, you have cloning, the possibility of cloning. And that's one way that's one thing you would use to rescue humanity. And so creating this villain was really, God, it was hard to buy the villain in this story. And because of the fact that that scientists still exist, there are doctors, geneticists that would be able to help solve some of the problems that they run into in the plot. And that is somebody who didn't sit down with the logic machine when they were writing the plot out. And you should always address logic issues in your writing. Always. Because there's always one asshole like me sitting out there tearing that shit apart, going, well, that makes no sense because it doesn't work that way.
That makes sense. Zach7 says, so if people are bleeding out of their eyeballs, the Gov wouldn't have to force us to stay home. If it was an actual, I guess what Gary was saying is if it's an actual viral pandemic, in a way, the dead would just be toppling over. It would be wiping them out at a fast rate. And the way they were describing it was pretty fast. It was like deadly automatically to the point where people were fearful. And you see later on getting wrapped in saran wrap and burned alive in their own house. It's crazy. That's what it was trying to play off the fact of viral fear. And the fear, and to the extent of how people will act trying not to get sick. And some of it was really crazy. And Kate would just like to agree with you. I, too, am that asshole, Gary. Lol. But for those who haven't seen it, I'm gonna quickly just read off the wiki because this will give you a little hint on whether or not you actually want to dive in on this. So about 10 years ago, the Great Crumble happened. A virus killed many people in the world and led to a mysterious emergence of hybrid babies born part human and part animal, like I stated earlier. Unsure if the hybrids are the cause or the result of the virus, many humans were feared them and hunted them. Gus, which is our main protagonist, the boy you see in the screenshot, is half deer and half human, but he lives in the wilderness with his father, who later dies of the virus when he is about 9 years old. Spoilers. So I didn't mean to go into that. Sort of dies. It's a whole big complication. From that, Gus pretty much has to learn to fend for his own, eventually find something that sets him on a journey. Because there's one thing here. Everyone's either living in groups with people, like in their own little sectors, trying to keep safe and away from the crazy, or they're off in like little like forested areas where no one really goes. And the way it happens is the main thing is if you light a fire, people will see smoke. And if they see smoke, they will come looking. And that's the whole thing, though. We're trying to keep hidden, especially with hybrids, because hybrids want to be they're pretty much the target. The last men as that's the old race, like the human race before the fall, the crumble, want to eradicate all of them because they think if they eradicate all of them, they eradicate the virus and the cause. But they are going on the pretense that they cause it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I really did like the series. The characters get along. They seem to interact very well. There's a lot of emotional attachment. On a side note, some of the executive producers, which is pretty cool, is Jim Mickle, Susan Downey, and Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, so he has a part of this.
Iron Man actually helped produce this. Yes.
Oh, didn't know that. Actually, didn't think about that. Nice.
Okay, we got one question. Oh, you can't hear us now, Gary?
I had to leave and I came back.
All right. Quickly, I'm going to turn it on and ask the chat. Have anyone in the chat actually seen the first episode or any of this series so far with Sweet Tooth?
But I love the interaction with Booba and Gus. And that was the most powerful in episode 1 from what I saw. I saw it.
And it totally flew by me that it was actually based off a DC comic, and that actually makes me want to check out the comic now. Well done.
Yeah, right. I saw that too. That's kind of interesting. I didn't know they actually had this comic. That's like this concept.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And Gary, would you recommend this for other people to watch? Oh, we have another guest. Hi, teacher.
Yeah.
Hello.
I highly recommend the show.
Hey, Mr. T-Shirts.
Hey, Jace.
How are you?
Oh, I'm okay. Just been playing some Dead by Daylight.
Nice.
I got a question for you, T-Shirt. Have you watched the first episode or any episodes of Sweet Tooth at the moment?
Not yet. I'm actually going back and rewatching all my Fist of the North Star episodes right now. Sorry.
Okay, well, we have no opinion from that point of view. But other than that's I just wanted to cover with this first. It's something I'm actually enjoying, and it's pretty much up there with Invincible. I don't really have anything else that I can promote at this time.
Yeah, I did finally get to watch Invincible, and yeah, that was really actually pretty good.
It is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it myself. But yeah, I also recommend this show. Even though I just seen the first episode of Sweet Tooth, but I do recommend it.
Okay, I'll check it out.
All right. And then, does anyone else have any final thoughts or anything else we want to discuss about Sweet Tooth until we move on to The Crying Man?
That is just sad that Booba died in the first episode.
Ah, spoiled it. But it's only the first episode, so it's not so bad.
All right.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I got something in the private chat quickly. Oh, thanks. Right after I couldn't hear you guys. Yeah, we heard your vote.
I do have to say. Okay, good. I did find it funny that the guy that starred on the show, Last Man on Earth, was in this. I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, wait, was he the general? No, he's not the general. He was Puba.
No, he was the dad.
He was Richard.
Gary, are you broadcasting from the bottom of a well?
Oh, he cries from everything now.
And hence my wallpaper earlier. That's why I put Tila's head on He-Man's body.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, I'm gonna stick it now. Clownfish was right. And this article today, which I've been keeping for the back to actually read live, is Kevin Smith provides confusing and conflicting answers regarding the protagonist of upcoming Masters of the Universe Switch and Bait.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to know which way to go on this one, huh?
I think he's going down a hole, and he just keeps digging. And
yeah, for a person who didn't even like Keyman.
Well, with Kevin Smith, his whole thing is he got his reputation because, everybody was like, oh, well, he's a geek just like everybody else. So now he can't just be a geek. He has to be the geek that everybody looks up to. So he has to be geekier than everybody else. And I'm sorry, man, it's not a competition. It's not a dick measuring competition on geekiness.
I have to give him a little props. Since he's lost all that weight, he can finally see his dick to actually have those competitions. So it's a win-win for him either way.
It must be nice. I prefer not to have a heart attack to motivate me to lose weight.
Yeah. But this is brought to you by Bounty into Comics, and pretty much something curious is happening with Kevin Smith and his social media promotion of Netflix upcoming Masters of the Universe Switch and Bait. It has been happening, and it's still happening. I'm not going to lie. The voice cast that they showed and have lined up for it looks fantastic. The animation looks fantastic.
It does.
It does.
And it's going to get ruined by Kevin Smith's bullshit. And I think a lot of He-Man fans see this and they're seeing the potential. And it's like, I just got a great cheesecake. Why did the dog shit on it?
Yeah. I'm not really fond of the taste of shit flavored cheesecake. That's not a flavor that I want to taste. But yeah, it's
I'm pretty skeptical on the show. I'm not gonna it's gonna be good, it's gonna be bad. I'm just gonna be not try to be excited or just going clear-minded when it comes.
Yeah, I hate to approach everything that comes out now with a negative mindset. Because I think it's very hurtful, not just to people's thoughts about my opinions, but
if you do that, you're being prejudicial.
Yeah, and I don't want to be prejudicial towards everything that comes out. I really want to look at the silver lining, at the good side of everything. I want this to be good. It's got a great cast. The animation looks fucking awesome. I'm very excited. I'm a He-Man fan.
Yeah, so is my co-host Claw. He's really excited for this one. So we took a bet. I took a bet that I have a feeling that it's gonna be bad, and he thinks it's gonna be really good. So we took a bet with money. Let's see who's gonna lose.
Forbidden Ruin brings up a point. The image on the screen is not going to be the launch art style. It's a bait switch teaser trick. So you're saying the whole trailer is a bunch of bullshit at this point?
God, I hope not. I mean,
that would be really sad because
it
looks good. It looks really good. So
I'll get into the article real quickly. YouTubers Neon and Geeky Sparkles of Clownfish TV, because they've been dealing with Smith for the last year now because of him striking stuff and everything. Noted a strange descriptor for the show in 2019. Well, actually 2 years ago. God damn. In one of their videos, they alleged that a source had revealed to them that Teela would be the main character for the show. Not only that, but she would also have a girlfriend, and He-Man would be stepping aside for the two women to be the heroes of the story. And we've also heard other things where not only just that, is that they're all probably going to get their own powers from Grayskull, like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, is which I'm understanding.
What the heck?
Yeah.
That sounds stupid.
That sounds dumb.
It does sound dumb. The Clownfish TV duo even talked about a presentation at PowerCon in Anaheim, where the synopsis of the show presented Teela as the protagonist, noting that this was up to her to find the missing sword of power and save Eternia from the clutches of Skeletor. Oh my god. Having shared this information prior to the premiere of the show's first trailer, the duo were reproached by Smith himself on Twitter last March. I remember that. That was crazy. As the showrunner sought to correct some misinformation he believed the YouTubers were spreading about the show. See, this looks fantastic. Like, this is He-Man. God, I love this art.
Yeah. It's really good.
It's really good art.
And the animation looked really good. The trailer that they launched looked really, really good. So
it did, and that's why I was kind of happy for it, because it's I can watch it with the sound off and just audio it over with an original He-Man stuff, and it's making it look good. He makes this claim 3 times against the YouTubers in his first tweet on the subject. Smith replied to Clownfish by asserting that, as showrunner, I really could have used these story suggestions before we locked the scripts. No, you could have gone back and watched the show, talked to maybe some of the living creators or animators, and got some actual insight as well as from fans. That's what you have, a full lore library available when it comes to fans and huge lovers of a franchise. You can literally reach out on Twitter. You have how many online shows does Kevin Smith partake in that he has never thought, hey, let's do a He-Man session. I want to get your thoughts on where you think He-Man should go. He has had all the ample opportunity to do that. So that's a bullshit statement.
Yeah, I agree.
Kurtzman bullshit style.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hell, we talked to Tom Cook the other day. You know, so Tom Cook is accessible. He could have talked to Tom Cook about it if nobody else.
Yeah.
I sent you a T-shirt and direct.
And we need to have Tom Cook back on again to talk about this.
I really do, because I think Tom would have great words on that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into it. However, no, He-Man does no stepping aside as Teela has no girlfriend in our show. We've seen it already though. The storyline is pretty dark and way metal. Before Revelation, we were going to call it the end of the universe. Well, technically, if what everything they're saying is true, you have literally made it the end of the Masters of the Universe.
Well, we already know from the spoilers that you know, they're going to have God Skeletor. So.
Skelegod, yeah.
Skelegod, yeah. So that's like, okay. It's
but when you guys read this, the whole showrunner thing, and asking before lockdown the scripts, does that sound like he's pretty much doing what every mainstream, whether it be comic or TV, blame the fans because criticism is going against what they thought was the right way to go?
Well, that just seems to be the trend these days. You know, whether it's Mangold getting on there and, you know, taking down all the fans for having the balls to criticize his vision for Indy 5, or Kevin Smith or whoever. It's like, you know, these dudes need to realize it's like, if you're going to go and stick your dick out there on the chopping block, somebody's going to cut it, or somebody's going to hit it with a hammer and it's going to hurt. So, you know, don't do that.
Yeah. Ironcaster brings up a good point too. The internet is full of forums. I totally forgot about that, where people have already had these discussions for every hobby or IP. Fans have made their opinions known for a long time about these properties. It's not just even to that extent in Ironcaster. We got fan fiction, short stories. Literally, if you didn't know where to go or you wanted to adapt something, you could have reached out to any of these people that have done short stories, and you know what you've done? You could have bought them, gave them credit, or gave them like 20 minutes to talk, to open your mind on how you can proceed in something wonderful. And that's what it comes down to.
A simple Google search would have taken them anywhere on the net with people who have it. I mean, I keep saying this over and over and over and over. It doesn't matter what you're into. It doesn't matter how niche you think it is, or how tiny or insignificant or how personal it is. Guaranteed, somewhere else in this fucking world, somebody loves what you love.
Mm-hmm.
And damn sure with something as big as Masters of the Universe, there's lots of people who do. So that's bullshit that he didn't reach out to any of the fans or anything.
See, what's cool about He-Man, and I'll say this right now, we have sometimes we have 1 day shows. This is probably before Coof happened, and what it would be was it'd be in the lower part of the hotels, you know, like where they usually have like office meetings and all that stuff. So you have like the grand ballrooms and all that stuff. They would have things like the 80s toy show be a 1 day thing, and you can go in there and find like old Transformers, like the guns, any pieces you're missing for the Transformers you own, and find to get those little accessories. They had a whole He-Man section. You would have vendors with buckets of original He-Man stuff that you could just take, buy the pieces, and finish your gray skull saying it's missing a drawbridge or a latch. And there's all those things around that are benefiting not only keeping the old stuff alive, but enough people that have so much knowledge they are technically lore masters within themselves. Because definitely Hollywood and people in mainstream don't really give a fuck, I'm gonna use this again, anymore on how a character should be, how it should be delivered, and how you can keep them alive while still adapting to today's mentalities. You can still have a virtue signal as long as you're not making the virtue signal the main point of the whole story. I don't care if Teela is scissoring Skeletor or Evil Lyn or goddamn Battle Cat, for fuck's sakes. But if I see a good sword fight and they're actually fighting evil and being those characters, that's the only thing that matters to me. Nothing else.
Hey, that would actually make kind of an interesting story, though, is Teela having some kind of a love interest with Evil Lyn. Because, I mean, certainly that wasn't in the original, but I mean, hey, you know, it's modern day. They're wanting to make villains more complex. Why not? But,
Because technically they could work. They could have a love thing that's going on, but they also have to keep it separate from the fact that they're both on opposing sides and they're technically they're evil forces, and they're going to have to eventually fight each other again. So I bet there's some love versus evil.
Yeah, I bet there's some fan fiction out there that probably covers that.
There's probably a whole Pornhub section on that.
Yes.
Single spotty rhyme. Okay, Keith. Stunning and brave Megatron. Hello, nice to see you and your jugs. More than meets the eye. I always do research when I draw a character, even if I'm not familiar with said character, because that character matters to someone else, and it is important to represent the character the best way I can. That's it. That is it. That's a good point. And Iron Cat. Wait, hold on, Keith. What was this? There's a huge delay. I'm sorry, Gary. If you have something to add, I will be quiet for 10 seconds right now.
No, it's just there's a huge delay, so I don't know how to interact without jumping in while you're talking.
Okay. Well, while I'm paused, you have the floor, sir, because of the delay.
No, I didn't have anything to add. I was just wanting you to know.
Oh, okay. I thought I was like over talking you with delay. Back to Ironcaster's comment. It seems to me that we as enthusiasts on these franchises and properties are a sort of expert in our own rights. And these videos and live streams should be seen as papers written and peer evaluated. I kind of agree with that. Megatrans, I'm looking forward to that alt account. I really am. If it's for kids, no. But that's the funny thing, was my uncle. Supposedly there is 2 cartoon series coming out. There's one more based for the adult generation, and there's actually a kid one. He's handling both, from my understanding.
Well, I mean, I always thought the She-Ra one was for kids, because boy, that animation, woo!
That whole She-Ra was a joke and an insult.
Yeah.
But it was terrible.
It was. I watched 5 minutes and I turned it off. Never touched it again. I'm going to get back into this. When Clownfish TV presented a quote from Screen Rant's coverage of the new series story details, which noted that He-Man won't be the main protagonist anymore, rather focused on Teela and her magical scissoring powers, Smith pushed back against the article with all due respect. Oh, crap, you don't respect anyone. With all due respect at Screen Rant, I've read every at Masters official script for our shows, plus wrote a few, and viewed four amazing animatics.
Yeah,
said Smith. While Teela is as present as she always was in the MOTU adventure, and she plays a big role, our series is literally all about He-Man.
Okay.
Told you. Okay.
Well, I got to tell you this. Kevin Smith, the only thing he knows and respects is a really well-made sandwich.
Hello, Rod Thunderheart, another author in the chat. How are you, sir? Nice to see you.
And he has to be vegan, because he's vegan, as far as I know.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he was eating potatoes.
Ironcaster says, if Clobby isn't an expert on comics, then I don't know who could be one. Clobbering is like the encyclopedia and carta of goddamn comics at this point, man. If you need to turn something, the first name that ever usually pops up on these streams is Clobby. And I don't think he respects anything but his pot. After receiving pushback for bashing and belittling Clownfish TV, Smith clarified that there is no side to my story. This was my only interaction with the tweeter prior to the correction I tweeted yesterday. I honestly don't see where I bashed or belittled anyone. Didn't you copyright strike their channel? Like twice? I thought it was extremely good-natured, non-combative exchange. Am I misreading my own tweet? It's not your tweet. It's your actions behind the tweet. You can be nice as you want on a social platform because everyone sees that little bullshit wall. It's how you act behind the scenes that people are going to judge you for and call you out for.
Pretty much.
Kevin Smith used to be funny. So I don't know when, but he used to be funny. I heard stories. Continuing on. However, following the release of the show's animated trailer, I love that trailer even on mute, which dropped too much awe and wonder, fans found that Clownfish TV was impressively spot on with their summary, despite Smith's insistence that everything that had been said online about the show was wrong. As such, it was reasonable. At this point, fans began questioning the validity of Smith's answers about his Masters of the Universe series. I'm sorry, that's not Teela. That is Abby with a lesbian haircut. I'm sorry. I'm not going to... Like, they both look very angry and masculine. Like, look at Teela. There's no feminine form there. And then you
Nope.
got her not girlfriend who has the same muscle mass. So I guess they work out together quite a lot with air quotes.
Yeah.
Mm.
And what the fuck
Sister
happened to
too much.
Orko? Looks like a blue gremlin in garbs. Bothers me. Anyone else want to jump in before I go on?
Well, I at first thought that, okay, all the male figures in the Masters of the Universe, even the original show, were like steroid case, massive amounts of muscles. I mean, even King Randor, had a hell of a six pack and a chest going on. I mean, it's like, the chest expansion program in Eternia is apparently legendary because everybody is on it. At least all the guys are. Whereas the women always looked kind of feminine. So I reasoned, okay, well, maybe this new Masters of the Universe, they're just trying to, make the women kind of fit more like the men now, 'cause all the guys are buff, so all the women are kind of buff too. And, maybe it's a gravitational thing in their world, and everybody has to be a little bit stronger or something. But, as Grimm pointed out for me, he said, well, yeah, even if that's the case, though, it's less about trying to reason about why these characters are buff or aren't buff. It's more like the aesthetic, So it's kind of like, who's this aesthetic trying to please with the muscular women? Because most women I know don't necessarily aspire to this look.
No, and they all have the same arm design. You notice that? Like they're not feminine at all. There's like, not only do I beat up the evil of Skeletor's army, I then bench press 800 battle cats while chewing on vegan licorice. They all look like the same body type. Look at them. Like at least there's like the dude at the back. I'm guessing it's a dude. I could be wrong.
That's Roboto.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. That they all have the same figure. Like the person who drew these women all drew them the same. Manly torsos, a little bit of cleavage, roundage, and the same angry, dull, boring, lifeless face.
I don't know. These women all definitely look like that they hit the protein pretty damn hard. It's like the protein aisles at the Eternia grocery stores must be just demolished when these three come through.
Or they have, if you've seen Scott Pilgrim, they became vegan and they get the vegan powers. If you become vegan, you will get some vegan powers.
Yeah, Ironcaster.
Well, it's the loss of femininity.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I totally agree, Gary. I almost called him Carrie. My bad. And, and it also sucks because Tila's also a redhead, and we seem to be going across the board when it comes to mainstream comics, movies, and such, is that they're annihilating gingers at the same time. So not only do we finally get a powerful female, ginger, aka redhead warrior back, they then put her in the category of the swoosh over hair and the masculine form, and
typical short sides, that hair on the side, muscular.
Yeah, I'm afraid to have her hug me. She's gonna break my neck. Like,
oh no, I'd totally be into her, but
and you just like smash me.
Yes, you pick up that.
I want a girlfriend to be able to pick me up, or at least try.
Treat me like you treated Joel, pretty much, and hit me with that golf club. Is that what you're saying?
Throw me around like you do your weights.
Oh man.
Kyluk asked a question. Do you guys think they're trying to appeal to trans with people with this?
I don't know if I want to touch that one.
That might. It really depends on how you look at it.
Women. I don't know. I really don't know. It's just.
No, I guess you have to look how you look at it. I think a lot of people are really different on that aspect.
Yeah.
But I want to go back to Ironcaster quickly before we move on. The show is all about He-Man being defeated and missing. Hollywood nerd Kevin Smith is technically right, but is lying via omission. He's just filling the seat that Felicia Day and Will Wheaton used to warm. Why'd I have to say Will Wheaton? Wheaton.
But
Go ahead.
what seems to be a really popular thing nowadays, I'm pretty sure Script Doctor would say this if he were here, is that like most people who are being brought in to work on a beloved property, what seems to be the standing order is deconstructionism. Because rather than just embrace all the stuff that was cool about the original show, even as kiddish as it was, they instead have chosen to deconstruct it to, it's darker, it's more gritty, it's more edgy. Look, the characters are more buff, the women are more empowered. Let's deconstruct all of these things down to, to fit our modern aesthetics. It has nothing to do with embracing all the shit that you used to love. I mean, they even took the little cross thing off of He-Man's armor emblem and replaced it with the big H from his battle armor.
Yeah, when I read this now, I even get more depressed. From unverified and verified sources, all of this is some strange combative and behavior coming from Smith, but it gets even more strange and combative in light of a recent tweet made by Smith in response to someone denigrating the fandom menace for saying that Tesla is the main star of Kevin Smith's Masters of the Universe show, yet shows only in 6 episodes. Smith claims, stop making sense. Good eye at the Junkman, wrote Smith, but you'll notice there's an evil Lynn figure in Wave 1. That's a big hint right there, kids. And only on July 23rd, all the secrets of Castle Grayskull will be revealed when the Master of the Universe Revelation premieres on Netflix. Bless you.
All right. I tried to my sneeze back.
I thought that was like a pup. I was like, what is it? The other thing gonna
did you step on your dog or something?
No, I was trying to hold back my sneeze, dude. I'm so sorry.
But
I don't know. Maybe he's trying to hint that it's actually not Tila at all. Maybe it's evil Lynn in disguise as Tila because she was known for all that magical trickery.
But we just saw Tila with evil Lynn in his shot up above.
Well, yeah, but I mean, once again, we don't know if that shot's actually in the show, and we don't know the context of that shot.
That is true. It's just weird. Their arms are weird. Those are the toys. Like even if the series sucks, honestly, I do enjoy the toys. I find them very well done, and they are 30 points of articulation. I want Skeletor and He-Man in a Battle Cat in the other one. I do, especially Moss Man. But the toys won't save the show.
Nope.
She looks so angry and unhappy. Revelation in the title, Masters of the Universe Revelation, refers to Tila's journey, Smith told entertainment news outlet. Tila finds out something about her that was hinted at in the old Legacy show, and that's a kernel that we blew out and really played with in this show. So the revelation in question really has to do with Tila. Great, she's getting her own Masters of the Universe power. Because I remember reading another article when they were saying something similar about it. It has nothing to do with just one person anymore. It's about the secret power within everyone and all these heroes and or villains. So this all seems like really shitty gravy on poutine.
Yeah. Oh, scroll back a sec. Scroll back up there to that other picture. Okay. See, that is a throwback to classic Tila look right there with, the long hair pulled back and the armor. Kind of a little bit on the skimpy side, but, she still looks buff. She still looks feminine. And she still looks like a badass. And it's very much like ooh, look, remember berries? Remember this is Tila, how she used to look? And then you look at the other picture and you're like, what the fuck happened? And I'm sure some asshole would point out, well, she can change clothes and hairstyle, t-shirt. And I'd be like, yeah, she sure can, motherfucker. But, how much do you like having your shit messed with,
Yeah.
Gary, I know you got booted out again. Do you have anything to add to this before we move on? I don't even want to read this article anymore because I feel like he just died for me.
No, I've got nothing to add to this. I'm just going to wait to see what happens.
That's all we can do.
Pretty much. What about you, Jace? And you,
I have
Chad?
nothing. I have nothing more to say myself. I still have a feeling that it might be bad, but trying to hope for the best. Stay a little bit positive. Of course, I hope that it's gonna be bad so I can earn some money, but that's another thing.
Oh my god. Okay, well then with that, I'm going to definitely, and I'm going to agree something here with Megatron. Yes, you and Makini should attack that with big breasts and booty and all you can. Iron Catchers, I got into He-Man with the 2002 cartoon. Was that the anime style readaptation?
Yeah.
That one was really good too. I actually like that one a lot. I don't claim to be super into the 80s one, but if I did get to work on a He-Man show, you bet your cupcakes that I'd marathon it. You don't touch my cupcakes.
I got the whole damn collection of the 80s television show right over here on my shelf, man. I mean, that's how big of a fan I am. Now, I don't have the 2002 one because, I hate to sound like this, but it's not my He-Man.
Yeah. Well, that's
and,
it.
And from the looks of things, this one's not either, despite the rumors to the contrary. Oh, no, this is your He-Man. This is the Legacy show.
First episode, He-Man goes into a coma. Tila pegged him too hard. Any money? Now, if you guys are wondering what that noise is behind, I actually received a package today that I said I would open on the stream. So I'm trying to get it ready because they put more tape on this than most people do in bondage videos. So it's really hard to open right now.
That's why you have a knife.
I'm using a knife. That's the problem.
How much tape is used in bondage videos?
I don't know. I'm not going to tell you my internet history, Gary. Stop asking questions. But
that's a story for another stream.
I will say this in defense of the show. No matter how true they are or how untrue they are, the original He-Man was still a little gay.
It was. You can still find like the full seasons, even if the original She-Ra on YouTube in like hour formats with no commercials. Dear Lord, open up. All right. Now I'm going to close this article
because I said.
I shut up. That's me. That's something. You just did tell you're in it. No, I didn't. Can't prove anything. No, this will be the only stream where I deleted afterwards. And I would just like to say, what?
He's laughing.
Is that Gary farting or
no? He's laughing.
No, I was doing my impression of Jace holding back a sneeze.
Oh. Oh man. Did it really sound like that? Jeez.
No.
You sounded like you stepped on a pup. Everyone sounds like they're making out with balloons now.
It was like a dwarf farting.
It's like a small animal being crushed. You have fucking Salacious Crumb over there, don't you? You stepped on his ass.
We're coming up to our third topic, and it is
and final topic.
Final topic to a degree. Yeah, we're doing it short and sweet today, and it has to do with Loki and Disney Plus. Now, did you guys watch the second episode at all by chance?
I have not watched it yet.
No. I know we suck, but
No, you don't suck. I feel like I just punished myself for no reason, and it was bad. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't.
Did they bait and switch yet?
No, I don't want to spoil it unless the chat says it's okay to spoil, or you guys said it's okay to spoil. But if you want me to say, I wanted to say one thing before we get introduced to for the first time.
Okay.
I don't.
A lot of people pee when they sneeze.
What?
And fart.
What? That came out of nowhere.
All right. Well, if you guys haven't seen it, are you okay with me saying one thing? Because you probably are seeing the rumors. Oh my God, there's so much tape.
That's fine.
We get introduced to female Loki, and for that, it's not just that though. We get introduced to what Jackass called him or her, the superior Loki.
Yep.
What?
Yeah. That was my first red flag, but I wasn't too upset with it. The show had a pretty good stuff, and I was really not expecting Tom to be around for so long. You know what I mean? I honestly expected him to be out by the first episode or just sitting behind a desk, but he actually is still a main protagonist in the show, and it feels like a kind of like a buddy cop thing with the way they're set up in the TVA with God, I hate his mustache with Wilson there, because when you hear Wilson talk, all I can hear is stuff from like Starsky and Hutch, and it throws me off. So I'm waiting to go how you doing, all that weird crap from the movie. They're good together, but they're not good in this show together. Do you know what I mean on this one?
I can see that point. Yeah,
Wilson's really a comedy actor.
I even think Loki at this point, Tom Hiddleston, is at the point where he doesn't know where to go with the show, and he's just hoping the scripts were good, because they don't do Loki's character justice. Even if it's pre-Endgame or after Endgame Loki, they're not doing him the justice I believe he deserves, or Loki deserves.
Well, Hiddleston is much like the rest of us. He has a powerful need to eat. So.
Is that a fat joke? But yeah, that's about it. Give it a shot. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's turning into like Marvel's Cops in a way. But the main thing is they're using a Loki to hunt another Loki.
Yeah.
And yeah, there is a lot of contradicting stuff going on right now. The show plot contradicts a ton of info from the Avengers movies, almost to the point, if not a complete retcon. Yeah, but they're also supposedly there was an Easter egg also related to MODOK.
My problem is Marvel doesn't understand how multiverses actually work. You don't get a different version of somebody. That's not how multiverses work. Nope. And it's really bad science fiction when you show a female. Suddenly even if there was just the chance that the XY chromosome got mixed up one time, in an offshoot of a stream from one timeline into another one, while they were pregnant with Loki, whoever the biological mother was, it would still fucking look like Hiddleston.
Yeah,
because that's how that shit works. Marvel is so fucking goofy, and don't get me wrong, I'm super looking forward to all the Spider-Mans showing up. But again, that's not how multiverses work.
Are you in the audience ready for a rant? This T-shirt had got a rant. Okay.
Oh no.
Huh?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's gonna be a T-shirt rant. Okay. Y'all just sit back and
enjoy the show.
Rant for a moment. Okay. There is one thing in Loki that really, really, it pissed me off to no end. And that was, when they just casually show you the bowl or ashtray or whatever the fuck it was, full of Infinity Stones.
Oh,
that's Lady Loki.
Okay. Now, let me just say this. Okay. When the original Infinity Gauntlet saga happened in the comic book Marvel Universe, it was fucking unbelievable. It was something that we had never seen before. For one thing, it was extremely clever because if you read how Thanos actually got all the stones from all of the different... I can't remember their names. They were basically like the Lords of the Universe, like the Games Master, the Runner, and the Champion, and all these other guys, the Gardener. He beat all of them at their own games, and it was very clever. It was very well put together. And him having all those Infinity Stones, was a unbelievable event. I mean, he could have changed the entire Marvel Universe just at a whim, and he did when he destroyed half of all life in the galaxy in the comic books casually as an offering to death. So now we jump to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. For 10 fucking years, we had one build-up after another with each stone, and we started to unravel how powerful all these things were, which culminated in one of the best fucking films to ever come out in superhero history with Infinity War, where you had a really good hero or a really good villain that was really leveled on, or multi-tiered, multi-leveled, with all kinds of power and ability. I mean, enough to where all these characters that you grew to care about in a 10-year period were getting the shit kicked out of them or getting dissolved into dust or whatever. And then, you know, we bridged off into Endgame, which, okay, there was problems in it, I admit. I mean, anytime you're doing time travel stuff, it's problematic. Okay, you know, I understand these things. I'm not saying it was a perfect movie, but it was a fucking awesome cap to a really good 10-year period of fucking good superhero movies that I've been waiting my whole fucking life to see. And then they turn around and they fucking undo it all in one goddamn fucked up shit episode of Loki.
Yep.
By fucking taking these really awesome things that made their fucking universe and then just say, oh, these are just casual. We use them as fucking paperweights. Fuck you, Marvel.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. Let me just put a little tiny candle on top of your cake of a rant. And that candle is fobs. They carry fucking fobs. These guys are the masters of time, and they carry fobs. Oh, and slow-moving fire can kill them.
Yeah.
Sure. That's some good writing right there, let me tell you.
I have a perfect thing.
Yeah,
to
it's
sum
pretty
up all-
fucking stupid.
I have something to sum up all of this. I know it's not good enough, but here you go. There you go, Marvel. Eat that. There you go. Tracking fobs. Yes, pretty much. The same fobs you use to open your condo door, to get into the laundry room. Those fobs. Yep, those fobs. Yep, the ones you scan your little laser gun when you go to Laser Quest and all that wonderful stuff. Fobs, yes. Yeah, they couldn't even rip off Babylon 5, just get something stuck to their hands. It's pretty much what it is.
Oh, the show is so dumb.
It is dumb.
It's fucking so dumb.
I'm getting a migraine thinking about it, but I want to give myself props because it's so good the way I'm sharing screenshots that Kevin Smith has literally been crying over everything we've been showing just underneath. It's fucking fantastic.
He should cry.
It's so good. It's just so good. It's not good. And with that, all I can say is they do look like, they don't even look like mall security. They look like security, like you know when there's riot police in really be done movies or like shit like that, they all look like they rented all of these riot police gear from Party City. And these are the guys that are not only trying to protect the pristine timeline or whatever it's called, the proper timeline, whatever they call it. What's it called? I don't care because I forget the name. Here's another question.
Well, they have those little time grenades, and when they drop them, they should already be preset to go, not drop to the ground and then you bend over and have to turn it on. It was really stupid. And then on top of that, every single one of those guys is supposed to have one of those handheld fobs. And yet they still got run over by a slow-moving flame. It's so fucking retarded.
It is. It gets worse, though. The sum of this episode, I can sum it. I'm going to do it. I don't care. You guys will probably watch anyways and go for double checks here. But literally, Loki is now hired to find the other Loki. And pretty much, he eventually deduces something the TVA can't do, even though they have all of time at their disposal, that the bitch is hiding in apocalyptic events throughout the past, present, and future.
Mm-hmm.
Hiding in apocalyptic events. And it's just like the series is like Loki chasing Loki. It's like he's chasing a shadow.
Everything
Catch me if you can.
Everything in Phase 4 so far is fucked. Okay, because we had WandaVision, and that was, I mean, come on, that was stupid. I can't put it any other way.
Mediocre at best.
It was mediocre at best. It was Captain and Falcon. No, I'm not done. I got more. Captain and Falcon. Okay, that was some shit. I don't even really want to get into that. But now you got the Eternals that are coming up, and of course the biggest question is, you have a policy of non-interference in humanity, and yet you posed as their gods and gave them all these technologies and things like that. If the video is true, and the other part of that is true, is just kind of like you guys just kind of sat back and didn't give a fuck when Thanos had all the stones and decided to snap half the universe away. I mean, wouldn't that have taken half the Eternals away too? And in the original comic books,
Phase 4 is a failure.
Yeah, and in the original comics,
Phase
whether people
4
knew this or not,
was already a failure.
Thanos and his brother Eros and his father and all these other people who are related to Thanos are Eternals of Titan. So they're another offshoot of the Eternals that you see on Earth. But they never mentioned that in the fucking show.
I have to quickly add something to a Polymies minion, and I'm going to do it right now.
Mhm.
I did watch this. Yes, I sailed the 7 seas. You were saying you were surprised that female Loki wasn't black. That's her first form that she changed into when she was hiding in plain sight. So yeah, technically, female Loki was black at one point, and then she was 2 white males, and it's even worse. He's literally fighting one of the dudes, the other Loki, with a vacuum cleaner and using it as weapons. And like,
Yep.
Look, shampoo, conditioner, and no script. And there's Jeremy or Jenny, whatever the hell he was called there. And it literally the whole time they're just fighting. Like the same stances, and it gets so much worse. They get slammed around. This is pretty much the only action you get to the whole thing, except for something at the beginning I didn't care about. But there you go. There it is. And it's just, you can have it on the background. I'm not kidding, Forbidden Room. They're literally fighting with a vacuum if I can find it. Wait. It's, no, not there. I don't want to spoil that. Where's the vacuum cleaner? There's literally
spoil everything else.
Does anyone care? Hands up if anyone cares. Literally, they're fighting with a vacuum cleaner, and I'm trying to find it just right. Literally, it's right about there. There it is. Did you say? Oh crap!
I saw it. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, right there. Right. No, wrong one. Come on,
dude. You're gonna get copyright claimed.
No, I'm not. I'll blur it the F out. I'm not. I'm actually skimming. It's not actually doing anything.
That's true, and we're talking over it, so maybe that will count.
Honestly, I don't even want to monetize this. I feel like I'm gonna get screwed either way. I'll just blur it out later. But they're fighting with a vacuum cleaner. There it is. There it is. There's the vacuum cleaner. He literally picks up a vacuum cleaner and starts smacking female Loki. You best get to cleaning, bitch. That's literally what it is. He's swinging the hose part at him like it's some kind of what is that? Remember Wicket from Ewoks Return of the Jedi, where he's swinging the thing around with the rocks, trying to hit him in the face
and hits himself. Yeah,
that's literally what he did with this. He's fighting with a vacuum cleaner.
So stupid.
Yeah, it's not fun. And honestly, this was the funniest part. It's literally Variant on the back. Is that on the back of his jacket? Yeah, the Variant.
Yep.
That's the name of the episode, Variant.
Yep.
There's Variant fighting female Variant, also known as Fat White Guy number 2, with a vacuum. That's all I want to show you. It's bad. It's bad.
It is.
They shut Nick Weiser down last night midstream. Was he actually playing it, or was he actually just going through it piece by piece? Because if it's going using the Disney app, maybe they claimed it because of some kind of encoding. But I wasn't actually playing it, but I hope not. Otherwise, I'll just blur the video. Also, if your team gets ambushed and you control time, that's another thing. If shit was hitting the fan, why weren't they pressing their fobs and just rewinding female Loki so they can catch her off guard?
Good question.
Yeah.
They were doing it to the black chick in the first episode.
Yeah,
Why
don't
couldn't they do
show
it?
us what the fob can do and then not use it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. Now we're gonna get to the final part before we close out, because I did promise I would show this, and they can't claim me for this. But yeah, I got a package today, and it's actually something very toxic, but very fun. Now, before I get too far into it, I'm gonna blow myself up. Oh, that's me.
Jace.
Oh, hi.
Okay, hi. How are you? Hi, I am Steven. So, as I was saying before, because I don't want to dox myself, that is the duct tape I was talking about. You see this shit?
Yes.
That is the tape that I had to go in there for the styrofoam nightmare that's going to be all over my house later. There we go.
Oh my God, you're pale.
It's dark and shush. But I
The
did
whitest hand ever. It's like a ghost.
I did get the Phoenix Boshuju today.
Ooh.
Yes. I'm pale. Thank you very much for putting it on pale.
That's
Welcome
very
to the
cool.
Pale shit. That was $30 off Wish, ladies and gentlemen. And I said I would show it, and it came with her lovely Phoenix.
Ah.
That I will
very
definitely
cool.
put a red LED light on later. But yes, those are
Yeah.
pretty cool. And that's it, because I just been mocked for my pastiness.
Oh, that looks really
and now
nice.
Thank you. And I just killed 3 people with my pasty hand. That's great. Great. Other than that, that's all that's been happening today. It's a short episode. There's not much going on except more disappointment, and I'm tired of people only reporting on disappointment. So fuck Loki. I would say fuck He-Man, but I think Tila's already doing that to everybody. But go watch. But go. Yes, I have a lot of tattoos. But go see Sweet Tooth. Give Sweet Tooth a try. That's why I opened up with it.
That's
I
one
loved
positive
it.
thing.
Yeah, Sweet Tooth is a
Sweet
good series
Tooth,
to
of course, is on Netflix, and Netflix once again proves to us that for all the shit it puts out, it can still put out quality shows.
Hey, still the best Daredevil show ever made.
I agree.
Yep.
And
Matter of fact, I think Gary would agree with me. I mean, Gary from Nerdrotic would agree too. I think, didn't he actually say that was the best fucking thing that was ever made?
Marvel wise, I think so. Yes.
But it is good.
But
Yes.
before we wrap up, what do you guys have to add? If there's any other shows that people should be looking forward to, because we're definitely not getting it here.
It's a good
Well, I
question.
want to point out that we had that weird tweet from Anson Mount directed at what's his name, directing Guardians of the Galaxy,
Oh, James Gunn. Give me
telling
1
him
second.
that he's got no talent.
Here we go. We'll definitely go up into that, because he deleted that tweet afterwards.
It's
didn't he?
like, what
Yeah,
the
right,
fuck
right,
was
yeah.
that all about? Yeah, he did, but it's still out there. I posted it on my Twitter account because I got a capture of it. It's like, what was he fucking thinking doing that?
Wow.
He's not smart, man, at all.
Well, you know, when you boil it down, you know, most actors are pretty much like nice looking hair and teeth. Not much else.
Yeah, but what do you guys make of this, though? Do you think that Hollywood's starting to eat themselves with all this stuff?
Oh, I hope so.
Because we had man.
I really don't know what to make of this because with all the trouble Alex Kurtzman's having right now, this is somehow related, and I don't know. I haven't figured out how it's related. Keith and I were talking about it this morning, and I really don't know what to make of this fucking post and why he did it.
But why would he delete it pretty quick too? That's what I was trying to think. Hey, look,
Unprofessional and stupid.
Yeah, I'm beginning to think that Twitter is turning into the place where Hollywood is going to eat themselves eventually.
Yep.
Hold on a second here. Attention! I am happy to report that a great honor has been bestowed upon you on Loki's channel. The monster in the indie game he's been playing, named after you. Are you kidding me? Did he name some fat fucking monster after me?
Which indie game is it, Pat? Come
I-
on.
He's playing Carrion right now.
Oh, I gotta play that.
Well, great. Everyone's gonna be calling the fat thing Steven now. That's great. That's because of the pajamas thing, right? Fat Steven's tape. God damn it.
Hey, Loki really likes you, okay?
I know, but he also likes me. Well, okay, here I'm gonna quickly then just get him back real quick as soon as I can figure out where I put it. But yeah, if I think Loki, I love Loki to death, and honestly, he's a good dude. If he ever got on his good side, he will always try to help you as much as possible, the same way Gary does. But with that, I would like to introduce you to. We finally had a screen cap of Loki's Mornings of Mischief in his pajamas. And to be honest, I think he looks fantastic in those Nicolas Cage. That's also true. So I might have my tapeworm, but he has those pajamas, and they'll never leave.
Oh, Carrion, this is the one about the amorphous creature that's trying to escape.
And the gun transforms by potty parts and stuff.
Ooh, yeah, I gotta play that one.
Yeah, but other than that, thank you guys for popping on. I know it's not a long stream. I prefer it like this. We can get quick to the point, not make sure everyone's overworked. Everyone has long days in their real life. I'm still in Loki's pajamas. I'm going to quickly do that. I'm going to get rid of James Gunn because I just don't care about James Gunn at this point until we get more information.
I like James Gunn. But
yeah. But
I like Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's about actors lying about their height. Really?
What?
I have read some through it. Yeah, it's lying about heights, and he told one of the actors, "You're not big enough," and stuff like that.
What a fucking dumbass thing to get pissed about.
Yeah, it's a lot of things you have to read through. Just made me pissed.
I do love Loki. Loki's a good dude. Joking around is fine. I'd like to thank Jace, T-shirt historian, Gary of Pop Culture Minefield. I'd like to thank my mods, the chat. Thank you guys for coming by. I know there's so many other shows out there. I appreciate your time and your participation because my dyslexic English is back. You have
precipitation.
Yeah, I'm precipitating like the sweat on my back, like the Niagara. That's how it started. That's all I could find. Well, I'll definitely have to talk to you later, Zax. You guys all have a great day. And before you leave, I have one request. Head over to Loki if he's still streaming on his gaming stream and call it the Tapeworm Raid and go do that now. Because we're closing out. I got another stream with everyone go over to Loki's, type in hashtag Tapeworm Raid. I have to get set up for the Ords Board stream with gaming tonight with Macney and him. I've had fun. I'm not stressed. Neither should you be. And we're going to close it out the old-fashioned way. With the wrong ending, because I'm an idiot. I used the wrong ending. I used the wrong ending, so I also boomered my own show.
Boomer.